Hi guys! In this video I'm going to show you some of the miniatures that I've been working on lately for my dollhouse. And I'm going to start with these cute little apples. As you can see, I have red apples and green apples. And these are in scale 1 to 12, which is the basic dollhouse scale. And here you can see my red apples. As you can see, there are lots of different types of apples. There are whole apples like this one. Then there are apples that have been like peeled a little bit. And then there are apple slices and apple halves, apples that have been bitten a little like here, and then apple cores that have been basically eaten here. So lots of different apples. These are all made out of polymer clay and they have been glazed with varnish. And here are my green apples. Let's see if we can go a little bit closer. There we go. So here, my green apples. I love these. As you can see, whole apples, apple halves, then peeled apples that are slightly peeled. Apple core here, that's been like eaten. There are even tiny teeth markings there. Apple halves and apple slices, and then apple like peels there. So I really love doing these, and these were so much fun to make, and I have more of those. These are not all. I have this bag full of more. These are whole apples, so there are no peeled apples here or half apples or anything like that, but these are not glazed, so they are not shiny at all, but I keep them in this bag. I'm gonna glaze more if I need them, but I think there's quite plenty of apples here for my Green Gables. Okay, so that was that. Just let me put those away for a moment, and I'm going to show you next some other foods that I've made. It's just gonna take a while. I put these apples away. Sorry about this, but I just I want to get these apples off because they are so like tiny. I don't want to lose them, so I'm just gonna pack them away quickly. There we go. So now some more foods. I've got this cake that I made. It's like a chocolate cream cake, and it's got like little strawberries there on the top. This is just a polymer clay cake, tiny cake. So yeah, that one. Then I made a strawberry tart that looks like this. It's got like cream in it, and it's like a chocolatey base or a cinnamon base, whatever you want. This white here is acrylic paint. So the cream is acrylic paint, and then these are all the rest is polymer clay. I really love this one. Then I've made some bread. I'm probably gonna put those on the paper because they are easier to see there. I made some bread and I made some rolls, and these I made these out all without any like, I didn't make these out of anyone else's instructions. I just made all this food just by, you know, trial and error. So let me show you my breads. So there are my breads made out of polymer clay. Oops, I can't hold on to anything today. So yeah, made out of polymer clay. I don't know what's wrong with mine. It just won't sharpen today. I don't know why. But anyway, here you can see the breads, and here are the rolls. I have also glazed them. The way that I made these is I made them first with polymer clay, And then this paint here on top it's acrylic paint that I kind of dabbed onto it, so it looks like it's been baked in the oven. And then I put this little dent here in the middle. So yeah, bread and rolls. And then one more food. It's a ham, a really well-cooked ham. Also made from polymer clay, and the coloring here is acrylic paints. I think that's all my food. Well, I do have one more cake, but this is too big. This was the first one I made, but I can still show that to you. It looks like this. I haven't glazed this, so it's not it's unglazed, and you have one piece that you can take out of it. But it didn't really, it didn't succeed that well in my opinion. I'm not very fond of this, but you know, I like this design. I'm probably gonna do this again smaller. But so it's got like strawberries or whatever as a huge pile here, and then some cream, and it's like a chocolate cake. Oh, there's a hole that you can see there. Yeah, so I'm not gonna use this, but I'm gonna make a smaller one, just like this, because if you compare it to this other cake, it's way too big. This one, but you know, you live and you learn. Okay, so those are my foods, and some other items that I've made or that I've gotten. I found a champagne bottle cork, and I made it into two things. I found that on the, just, you know, lying in the grass, and I took it home and I washed it and I took it apart, and I made this metal plate out of one part. I painted it with gold metallic paint, and then I put in some glitter powder into it. So yeah, that's like a serving dish. And then I made this little stool from the rest of it. These were part of the cork, so it was like somewhere in here, this thing. And this is polymer clay that I just put in there and I baked it. So it's like a little stool. Yeah, so I made those. And then I made a little broom. This one was really easy to make. This is a barbecue stick. And this stuff I got from an ornament that was in a flower that I gave my mom for Mother's Day. And it had this it was made of these straws that, it was like a little girl that had a straw hat, and the girl was made out of straw. It was made, this is the straw that it was made of. So I have cut these in half, so these were like, you know, thicker. But I cut them in half, and I just tied a bunch of them together with some string, and then I put in this stick. So now I have like a little broom for my dollhouse. And here's the hat of the girl in that ornament, that, you know, in the ornament that was in the flower I gave for my mom. So I just took it off, and I'm probably gonna put some kind of ribbon here around it, and then I'm gonna put this probably on the wall, because this is not the kind of hat that I want from my Anne. As you remember, I'm making a Green Gables as my dollhouse, so I have an Anne doll, but this is not the right shape for Anne, for the girls at that time in Prince Edward Island. So this is probably gonna go on the wall with a ribbon to be like an embellishment. Anyway, then I've made some keys. If you remember last time, I showed you this that I got from the craft fair. I got this bunch of little charms, little metal charms. And what I made is, I made this bunch of little kind of rusty keys. I took the keys from those, so these are the metal charms that you just saw, the key charms. And I just treated them with colors and paints and stuff. So now it's like this. This is a jump ring. So I just put them into this, so I've got this bunch of keys now to hang onto the wall, my dollhouse. Then you might also remember these wooden tools that I bought for my dollhouse. I treated them with paints so that they look a little bit more used. I didn't like the unused color in them. They were really kind of white wood. So there's like this rolling pin, this like meat tenderizer probably, and then this bowl. I had some other stuff too, but I don't know where I put that. So this wooden bowl as well. And then I have some frames that I made. I've also shown you these in one of my craft hauls. I found these tiny, like, what do you call these? Like little tiny frames. There were several types of frames in that bag. So I put in pictures that I found online, Victorian photographs, and I put them into these so I can put these in the wall on the wall. I put some varnish on the tops there, so there's number 1. Number 2 has like a couple. Number 3 has a woman. And number 4, this is slightly, I don't know what happened to the coloring when I put in the varnish, but you know what, it's kind of, it looks old-fashioned and it looks worn, so I'm still going to use it. Yeah. So what else? Oh, then I have some books. Just let me open. I store these in tiny Ziploc bags, so I just want to show you. So first of all, I've got a tiny Holy Bible, and I've treated this to look older, to look, well, there's nothing inside there, so I'm not going to open it, but I've treated this to, I've put varnish on the top. This is made of paper, by the way. I printed this out from, you know, the net, and I treated it to look like yellowed and worn. Then I have this tiny book. I did the same for this. Treated it to look like worn, worn and used, but it's made out of paper, and even these covers look a little worn. Then let me see. Next book looks like this. And then I've got this, I don't know what this is. This is a little bit too flat in my opinion. It's way too flat, but I'm still going to use it. Yeah. So those, then I have a couple of Victorian magazines that I like printed online. These are tiny magazines that you assemble yourself and then you just, you know, glue them together. So here's one. Here's the first one. There's nothing inside, so it looks like this. And the other one is like a yellowish, more yellow one. Then I have a couple of, I don't know if I already showed you these in one video, but oh well. Then I have a couple of little, like, these are supposed to be metal jars of tea. These are made out of paper. And I varnished them to give them a little luster. And lastly, but not least, some notes. Printed online and treated to use, look and worn. I made them, I curled them, the edges, so that they look like really used. I've also varnished these. So yeah, I've been making these minis, and they take surprisingly a lot of time, you know, to make these stuff. So it's not very quick to make this stuff. And so here's another shot out of the minis that I made. I have some other stuff, but it's not as good, so I'm not going to show that. But I will continue making some more food and some more items like this for my dollhouse. And I should get my wallpapers for my dollhouse soon, so I'm definitely going to do a haul for when my package arrives. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching these little miniatures. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye!